Hello, Martin here with more property top tips for you. Sometimes they're to do with investing in property or buying property. Other times they're to do with doing property up, as is the case here. This is your top tips to improving your bathroom. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I can hopefully inspire you with some ideas for improving your bathroom. So what are my top tips for improving your bathroom? Number one, it may be a bit of a cliche, but white pretty much rules. Anything other than white sanitary ware, and you are definitely, and by that I mean toilets, baths, showers, basins, anything which isn't white, and unless you're doing it for purely personal reasons, you are definitely limiting the appeal, and you might find that somebody taking on that property in the future would want to rip it out and start again. It's old-fashioned, but people do like, or not necessarily old-fashioned, it's not necessarily very imaginative, but people like clean sanitary ware. And we all know the stories of the avocado bathroom suites and the purples and the dark blues and those kind of things. When you look at those now, you realize what I'm saying. For lots of reasons, you should really not venture away from classic white bathroom fittings. Number two in the list of ways to improve your bathroom. If you are taking on an old bathroom, don't necessarily rip out what's already there. It could be that it is white and old, but with lots and lots of character. Certainly old Victorian bathrooms were beautiful, and if they've been kept in reasonable condition, it might be that you can reuse some of the fixtures and fittings and even some of the sanitary ware rather than ripping it out. It is possible to have metal baths re-enameled, can be expensive, and you certainly want to look into that and make the decision as to whether you buy a new bathroom suite or go with a refurbished one. But don't necessarily rip the old stuff out. It could be that it provides a bit of character to your property. Number three, consider moving the location. Now, it could be the property has a bathroom which really isn't in an ideal place. A lot of houses have a bathroom on the ground floor only. Often it's situated off the kitchen and you have to go through the kitchen to get to the bathroom. Now, it may be that there's no option in terms of where you can locate the bathroom, but if you can, you want to be moving it upstairs, possibly even sacrificing a bedroom to create a bathroom where most people would want it, which is staggering distance in the middle of the night away from where they are sleeping. So an upstairs bathroom generally is going to be considered a good thing to have. But that doesn't mean downstairs bathrooms aren't a really important feature. Certainly in a house for anybody who has mobility issues, certainly considering their needs and installing bathrooms, certainly a toilet downstairs is something which would go very well in fulfilling that kind of commitment. And having a downstairs loo is a very useful thing to have. So look around the property and see where you could create some extra space, perhaps under the stairs, perhaps by dividing a room to create that downstairs bathroom as well. But in principle, an upstairs bathroom and one that's close to the bedrooms is one that people would naturally want. Now, number four is just some practical considerations, and that is getting rid of the soil from a bathroom. That's the sewerage and also the dirty water. It doesn't have to be a deal breaker in terms of the location of the bathroom, but considering where the soil pipe is going to go and how you're going to get the water out is a really important consideration at the start. Now, there are things called Saniflows. Well, that's actually a trade name, but they're basically pump toilet waste units. Most people know them as Saniflows because that's one of the original manufacturers, but you can get alternative types of, or manufacturers makes of these things, and basically they take the waste from the toilet and they macerate it up so that it's then able to go down a much smaller tube, and it pumps the waste away. So it enables you to have toilets and bathrooms in places which otherwise it might not be possible. Or if you're trying to get a soil pipe, a traditional soil pipe in, you have to allow for a certain drop off in slope to allow the natural force of gravity to take the waste products down the soil pipe. But if you can't do that, then maybe consider a Saniflow or something like that to get the waste away. It certainly opens up all sorts of possibilities. Next thing, number 5, is consider your expenses. Do not overspend necessarily on your bathroom. What you might think is absolutely gorgeous, your gold taps and your flamingo fountains, might not be to everyone's taste. So the price of fittings and fixtures for bathrooms can vary absolutely enormously. Even a shower head can vary from a few quid to a few hundred quid. So you want to look very carefully and remember fitness for purpose. What are you doing this for? Who's the end user? And will they appreciate what you're doing? So whilst I'm not saying don't spend on nice fixtures and fittings, I'm saying be very careful about what you do spend and make sure you don't overspend. Number 6 on the list now, and that is looking at baths. Depending on when you last purchased a bath, you might not be particularly up to speed on the amazing variety of baths that there are now. You can get them in all shapes and sizes, from freestanding ones to traditional baths to ones shaped in the shape of a P, which create a slightly larger area where you could potentially have an overhead shower. Look at the baths that are available. Consider the materials, everything from plastic to more traditional cast iron and enamelled, whatever it might be. Freestanding baths, baths that are integrated into a room, baths that have bubbles built into them. But again, consider the budget and don't overspend on something which might appeal to you but might not have mass appeal and which you might not get back in terms of addition of value. That's a strange way to say additional value onto the property if you come to sell it. And finally, in this top 7 list of things that you can do to improve your bathroom, consider an ensuite. There is nothing quite so luxurious and the perception of luxurious than having a bathroom which is actually attached to a specific bedroom. And if you want to go the whole hog, you could consider adding a bathroom to every single bedroom in the house. That's not only a very practical thing, it's a lovely thing if you're actually living in those properties, but then of course it does open up the possibility that the house can be repurposed for maybe letting out as a house of multiple occupation. Now, there are lots of other things you're going to have to do to get it fit for purpose as a house of multiple occupation, lots of rules and regulations, but a starting point of having an ensuite in every bedroom is certainly a great way to future-proof the property that you are doing. So for lots of reasons, look at a bedroom and see if you can resize it, rework it to fit in a ensuite, and consider using one of those pumped toilet things that I mentioned earlier, the Saniflo type things, and that will open up all sorts of possibilities you might not have considered. So those are my top tips for improving your bathroom. So I hope that was useful for you. Check out the rest of this channel for lots of good ideas when it comes to property renovation and investment. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with more property top tips very soon.